Is there a moon too bright and star too light, wind blown cold, feeling old, kind of sad, feeling bad? You turn around, find that she's gone. Is there a day that's past you hope would last, when dreams go right, a special night, you stop to stare, you think that she's there, you turn around, you find that she's gone. Is there a moon too bright, star too light, a wind blown cold, you're feeling old, kind of sad, you're feeling bad, you turn around, she's gone. She's gone. My world. I'm talking about my world. It's in your head.
Heaven, and a song recorded live for Nightmoves a couple of years ago, The Ballad. And with me in the studio right now, just back in the country from spending a long time in the United States, is Alan Fry from the band. Welcome back home.
Good evening. Yeah, dragging the ghost out of the cupboards with that
Absolutely,
one.
yes.
Strange seeing it. It's good.
You're still doing it on stage, actually. Still one of the stage favourites.
No, we haven't done that one for about a year and a half, I
They
think.
still call out for it, though, don't they?
Yeah.
The end of every show, The Ballad.
The Ballad.
Yeah.
I think the girls like it, that's what it is. As well as the headband.
As well as the
They get
headband.
into it.
Listen, Heaven's been together for what, 3 years now, right?
Yep.
You spent about a year here before you went overseas.
Yeah.
And what you've done over the last couple of years has probably been one of the best-kept secrets as far as Australia's concerned.
Not our fault.
Not your fault in the history. But you've done so many things while you've been in the States, with touring with all sorts of bands, recording, getting brilliant reviews wherever you've played. Are you a little bit disappointed that you come back here and really nobody's all that aware of what you've been doing?
Well, you know, we were used to it before we left. Like, Heaven's always been, the sort of music has never ever been accepted in Australia, you know. That's the bottom line. It's like they sweep it under the carpet and try and ignore it, but it always comes back up.
Yeah. I don't think it's the punters who aren't interested.
No,
It's more the industry thinking that it's a frivolous sort of music and something that's not to be taken seriously.
And the magazines and all that sort of thing, that's who I shove the blame on. And it's nobody else's fault, but they'll learn, you know. All you got to do is just look across the sea and see what's happening, you know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, certainly in the States at the moment, too, with bands like Motley Crue and Quiet Ride, who just had a big hit here.
Yeah. Up there. And so it won't be long here. Oh, well, it probably will be long here, but never mind. It'll come around.
Well, do you want to tell us about some of the things that did happen while you were away, apart from the recording of the album? No, I'm talking about, in terms of the band evolving, well, first of all, the lineup's not the same as it was in that
we've had a
clip.
couple of changes. The last 6 months, and that Mick Cox and Joe Turturro, who was in the band in that film clip, are no longer with us. We've got Mark Evans, used to be with AC/DC.
Yeah.
He was a
Played
bass
bass
player
with them,
then,
yeah.
but he's come up the world now. He's a guitar player. And John Layla.
Be a few bass guitarists throwing bricks at the television right now.
And John Layla, who is another Melbourne. See, 2 Melbourne guys. You see, we think about Melbourne. They've been in the band and it's worked great. You know, fantastic.
Have you had any problems with getting work visas? I mean, obviously America is an area that you really have been concentrating on and want to develop further. What's the story with immigration and permits and things like that? Are they giving you a hard time?
That's one of the reasons why we're back. Like, we've been renewing, we've been virtually away. It's been 2 years since we've been playing here in Australia. Most of that time, all that time has been over there since we left. And you keep on renewing your visas and that sort of thing, and the time comes you've got to get out the country and either do one thing or the other, and we're doing the other, so we're applying for residency over there. But we're still an Australian band. But resident over there because it's the only place where we can work, you know?
Yeah.
It's no good trying to work out of Australia just now, the way things are for our sort of music. Which is a pity that you have to leave your own country, you know, to get the recognition, but it happens all the time.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Sad but true.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the recording of the album. You did that with George Tutko, didn't you? Or was it Tutko?
Yeah.
How do you...
Tutko.
It is Tutko.
Actually, there's a couple of little words in the middle of it, but we can't say that. But yeah, George Tutko. He worked with John Cougar, Rod Stewart, Duran Duran. Anyway, but it was good getting somebody like that because he's having fresh ears instead of getting a guy like Mutt Lange who he'll do AC/DC and then he'll do Def Leppard and it all starts to sound the same. You know, and to get somebody who's never done what we do, it worked out great. You know?
I think getting Nelson Riddle to do your arrangements was taking it a bit farther. Actually, you've done Love Child on the album, the Supremes. Whose idea was that?
My big idea. We've been looking around, like, for this album, we were going to try and give a good cross-the-board thing and try and win a lot of people's hearts and the radio stations and all that sort of thing, and it kind of paid off. And we wanted a copy song, and oh jeez, we racked our brains and tried all these different things. We're sitting in a little bar in Westwood, a little place called Bon Appetit in LA there, drinking away, and all of a sudden Dan or Ross comes on. And geez, that could work. So brought it up to the guys. We had a bash, and it turned out fantastic. That's been getting real big airplay in America, along with Rock School and virtually the whole album. Phew.
So how long before you actually head back then? In other words, how long have people got to get to see the band while you're still here?
We're doing a tour here for about, it was thrown together pretty fast, for about 5 weeks, which takes us through to probably first, second weekend in May. Then we were going to have a bit of a break and do some tunes for the next album, because we're starting to work on that one. So realistically, we'll probably be in Australia for about 4 months, 5 months. But as soon as we're not needed anymore on that, we're away.
Well, hopefully you'll get the sort of recognition you should have got a few years ago this time round, and a few more people will stand up and take notice. All the very best with what you do. I mean, you really do work hard at it. The whole band does. You are renowned for your hard work anyway, if not anything else.
Nothing else.
And just enjoy it, and we'll wrap it up with Rock School right here. Thanks for coming in, Alan.